All right, so what I wanted to go over today is what you see here on the main dashboard when you logged in. This says set yourself up for success by setting your 2021 goals now. Okay, and so there's going to be a something you can click on the right hand side that says set my 2021 goals. And what you see here on the bottom is my this year goals, right? And you could do this year, this month, and break it down. But what this is going to do is set up for 2021. So let's get started with that. Set my 2021 goals. Okay. So like a lot of things, there's a guide that you can go through and get started. So this is kind of telling you what to do, what to expect getting out of this guide is setting up your goals so that you can review them on a regular basis, track them. We all want to be able to track our goals every now and then. All right, so on the left-hand side, you're going to see the numbers change as you change the things on the right-hand side. All right, so here you see what year you're setting goals for. And of course, we want to do 2021 next year. Okay, what is your 2020? It says 2020, but it should actually say 2021. What is your profit goal, right? How much do you want to make? So let's say that's what I wanted to make, 200,000. And I have expenses of 70,000 in cost of sales of 25. Now, for those of you that don't know what cost of sales is, cost of sales, and again, you can hover over it. An example, splits to the agents, transaction coordinators, ISA, market center, brokerage, as well as referral fees and other transaction-dependent expenses. So whenever you have a closing and you have to pay a fee out of that closing, that is a cost of sales. So again, your cap, what you pay to the market center, is considered a cost of sales. If you don't pay any other fees, we know we have a $22,000 cap at the market center plus a $3,000 royalty fee. So at a minimum, cost of sales is $25,000. Okay, at a minimum. And at the same time, if you don't cap, you're not going to have spent that entire amount. Of course, our goal is to cap. So let's put in 25,000 there. Now, if you have assistants, you pay someone a salary. Maybe you have 2 assistants on your team and you pay salaries and fees and all that good stuff. And then you have other expenses. Maybe you pay rent to the office. Maybe you pay for a third-party syndication site or third-party CRM system. Let's say BoomBomb, for example, where it's maybe $1,000 a month. Right? There's going to be 12,000 in expenses there. As a solo agent, your expenses are probably a lot smaller. Maybe put in 20,000 in there. Even that might be a little bit much. So if you do MAPS coaching, for example, you would add that in here as an expense. All right. So how do you make up your business? What is the makeup of your business? Again, you can hover over this. Balance between sellers, buyers, and they actually have something in here for leases. So I'm going to plug something in here for leases. I'm going to say my focus is 50% listings, 40% buyers, and 10% leases. Now, depending on how new you are, you might know your track record. If you don't know, if you're in productivity coaching, this would be a great exercise for you productivity coaching people to go through as a group to say, hey, what is or what can I expect my first year to be? All right, commission, average commissions per unit. This is a balance, again, between buyers and sellers. I've been finding that my buyer business is at a higher price point because typically someone is selling at one price point, a lower price point, and moving up. I don't normally get someone that sells and moves down in price. Normally they move up. So for example, if I sold a condo, their condo, and they want to move to a house, it might go from a list price of $300,000 to a purchase price of 500,000. So that's why for me, I have my average commission for listing a little bit lower, or said the other way around, the average for a buyer is a little bit higher because people are moving up. And then I do have leases that I do every now and then. So I've got that in there as well. So you can see for me to make 200,000, I need to sell 300,000 in GCI. Okay, if I want to profit 200 and I've got expenses of 100, right? Cost of sales, operating expense. You can see that there is really 300,000. All right, now I'm going to click on next. And these are conversion rates. Now, I've already made changes to the conversion rate, and I'll go over why in a second. So again, without a good track record, you're going to have seen on your dashboard things like 70, I'm going to work from the bottom up over here, 75% for these three groups. I think maybe even these four groups were 75%, and then possibly 5% for these two. Now, if you're working with what I call warm and fuzzies, people that you know, people that want to do business with you, want you to succeed in your business, your ratios on closing of them is going to be significantly higher than the average of an agent. For example, if you buy Zillow leads, for example, your conversion rate of those Zillow leads might be 5% of those. And so leads capture might truly be 5%. But if you're not paying for leads and you're just doing word of mouth or referral-based business, your leads contact might be substantially higher than that 5%. Okay, so I've got numbers here that says, under contract or pending to close. So what I'm saying, and this would have been defaulted to 75, I'm saying 90% of my under contracts actually close. Right? I have a very low fallout, and even 90% might seem kind of high. Things that go under contract, again, the average, national average was 75. I changed that to 85%. And if I have an appointment with someone, I'm going to win 80% of those, and so on and so forth. So you could change those. You could leave the defaults as they are, or you could change them if you know your data. Okay. All right, so we're going to save and continue on that. And what's next? So we're going to review our goals next. So we're going to click on view my goals. And so what this is saying is for me to make 200,000 in profit, paying off my support, my expenses, my cap to the market center, I have to close 60 properties. Okay, and it actually breaks it down into number of listings versus buyers versus leases here. Okay, to close 60, I have to have 75 under contract because, again, not every single property sells. Now, I might even up this a little bit because I don't think I've had this high of a fallout from what went under contract to close. There have been some deals that got almost all the way to the closing table that did fall out, whether it's a buyer lost their job or typically it would be something like that where the buyer was not able to get financing. We had one of those actually that I can think of off the top of my head. All right, so 60 to close means 75 under contracts means, I have to have 164 appointments throughout the year. How many days in the year? 360. So I need to have an appointment, just about every third day. Every other day, I need to have an appointment that I'm having with someone. So that means I have to have a lot of conversations here. Okay. So that's what setting your goals look like. And then you can see here what I need to break down. I have to have some smart plans, send some emails, have some neighborhood searches. So I need to have like 288 of my clients having active neighborhood searches and all that good stuff. So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to work on. And again, once you set this, you can go back in and rechange it. So if you're like, hey, you know, my conversion rate is actually better, or my commissions is higher or lower than that, you know, I could say 95% of these actually close, 90% of these, right, 85. Again, don't be changing the numbers too much unless you truly understand why you're making those changes. So if I do save and continue, let's see if that changes. It doesn't change my profit, but it could change how many closings I have. Okay, so it still had, oh, I'm looking at 2020. That's why. Okay. So also keep in mind, you want to make sure you're looking at your 2021 goals, which won't get initiated for another 14 days, right? So it looks like I do have to have more closings to get my $200,000 here. So 67 closings is my goal. All right. That's what I wanted to show you. It's goal setting time. If you haven't done it already, let's get it done.